inside Pablo Escobar's abandoned secret island mansion. Deep in the heart of the Caribbean lies an island that harbors the secret mansion of none other than Pablo Escobar. Far beyond all the tourists and sandy beaches, this ideal getaway paradise is completely cut off from the rest of the world, and only about 800 farmers and fishermen currently inhabit it. It was the perfect spot for a perfectly secret chateau, and like its infamous owner, it too has fallen from grace. Today, this massive manor is completely abandoned, left to the elements to decay and fall apart. We've got the story on this pricey palace and its unfortunate fate. But before we unveil anything further, please do like our video, subscribe to our channel and ring the notification bell. Okay, let's go. Pablo Escobar was a force to be reckoned with in the 1980s and 90s. He was a man who got what he wanted, when, where, how, and from who he wanted it from. Early in his life, he was infamous in his town for illegal activities, including theft, but that was just the beginning. His life of crime never slowed down or faltered in any way, and he made his way to the head of the infamous Median cartel. At one point, he was smuggling about 15 tons of illegal substances into the United States every day. The estimates put his net worth in 1989 at an astonishing $30 billion. This qualified him as one of the world's richest men at the time, and he certainly lived like that. He was the owner of 15 private jets, 6 helicopters, and more expensive cars than you can count. In fact, his brother Roberto Escobar has gone on the record stating that at one point his brother was spending over $1,000 a month just on the rubber band that held their money together. How insane is that? They had so much money that they were forced to bury it, when it would become the favorite snack of any rat in the area. At one point, this was such a problem that they started writing off 10% of their annual earnings on the money book. Knowing fully well that this money was ending up in the stomachs of rats, and based on their income, that equates to $2.1 billion a year as rat food. Y'all got to be kidding me. Pablo Escobar was rich, really very rich, and we haven't even started on his luxury homes yet. While Escobar was well known for having properties in Miami, which recently sold for just about $10 million, he was also the proud owner of Hacienda Napoles, a 7.7 square mile estate built in Puerto Triunfo, a little town just 93 miles east of Medellin, Colombia. This estate is arguably his most famous chateau, as it has gone through quite the renovations over the years. In its prime, it had its very own zoo, complete with giraffes, rhinos, elephants, and even a dinosaur exhibit. Today, tourists can visit and explore his estate in style, as it was turned into a family-friendly themed park. When valued in 2006, it came to $5.5 billion. But in today's video, we want to talk about a lesser-known estate, but by no means less expensive estate. It is legendary for the lavish and wild parties that were once held there, and for serving as Mr. Escobar's summer home, and today acts as some sort of relic to Escobar himself. This secret getaway house is completely abandoned, housing only wild plants and animals that currently dwell within, and sometimes on its white stone walls. Luckily, Escobar's majestic manor is known as La Casa Grande, which literally translates to the big house, and we have to say the locals weren't wrong at all. La Casa Grande is found deep within the forest of the Caribbean, on a seemingly innocuous island known as La Isla Grande. This island paradise is only a few kilometers long, and the only way you're getting there is by special boat from Cartagena, but good luck getting someone to drive you there. After you drive on the island, your best luck is to ask around for directions to La Casa Grande. You won't find directions on the internet, and you won't find signs pointing it out. Your only clue will be the track through the thick forest. After a few hours hike, you will find this legendary abode, and once the trees start to clear, you will come across an old pathway that leads to the spectacular white walls of La Casa Grande, or at least what is left of it. You see, La Casa Grande hasn't gotten the same treatment as Escobar's other estate, Hacienda Napoles. No theme park, no family-friendly zoo, and you likely won't see anyone inside. This is because after Escobar's death, the Colombian government took control of his properties, and they have neglected La Casa Grande for years. As you walk around the estate, you will see an overrun swimming pool, with broken down chalets that at one point confidently overlooked the ocean, but now are only a shadow of their former glory. This is exactly where visiting speedboats would have docked, but you won't see a working speedboat inside. The closest thing you'll find to that is one of Escobar's luxury speedboats, which in 1989 would have cost $187,000. Continue on through the property, and you'll see the plants that overrun almost every inch of the manor, be it outdoor or indoor. Stroll through the once majestic gardens, and you'll likely spot wild pigs munching on vegetation and enjoying their midday lunch. Tragic fate to such a beautiful home that in its prime time would have easily rivaled the cost of Escobar's other incredible mansion. That means it could have been valued at $5 billion. In a way, it's such a shame that such an architectural wonder has been left to ruins. I mean, this was supposed to be a party house, remember? The summer getaway for the leader of the Median cartel. The ideal spot for one of the richest men in the 1990s to relax and spend a little me time. There were over 300 fully furnished and eloquently designed rooms for guests to come and visit and party. No expense was spared when it came to Mr. Escobar's guest rooms, and that includes the gold shower heads in each of the bathrooms, likely valued at $1,400 each, but that's just change when you're worth $30 billion. Back in the day, getting to La Casa Grande would likely mean you took a luxury speedboat, or maybe you flew in by helicopter. The path is still there this day, only that it is nowhere near regulations if you think you can just fly over and land there now. Escobar was also known for having countless bodyguards on the side, who were trained to shoot on sight if anyone stepped foot on the premises that wasn't invited. One of his ruthless bodyguards was John Jairo Velasquez, also known by his nickname Popeye, but today you will find no such guards protecting the home. In fact, the island is pretty much kept to itself over the years, and it is roughly inhabited by 800 inhabitants who have continued to live their lives out as farmers and fishermen, paying little attention to the manor that once housed some of the loudest parties in the planet. We say maybe it is better off this way. Escobar was a criminal. No ifs or buts about it. Yes, he was known for giving away some of his fortune to the poor and needy, earning him the reputation of a modern-day Robin Hood. But good deeds like that don't excuse him from the cost of breaking the law. Escobar made his end on December 2, 1993, leaving behind his massive homes. Believe it or not, the majority of his massive fortune as well. Much of it is still buried in the ground till this day. It is reported that millions upon millions of dollars are still out there just waiting to be found. Pablo Escobar was many things during his tenure as the leader of the Median cartel. Some called him a villain, a drug lord, a smuggler, a ruthless criminal, yet some also hail him as some sort of a modern-day Robin Hood. Whatever you think of the man, he certainly lived his life to the fullest, and his secret mansion that sits hidden away in the large forest of La Isla Grande is a testament to that. But like Escobar himself, this mansion fell from grace. These days, if you're brave enough and don't mind a little island adventure hiking, you could visit it yourself. It wouldn't be easy, and it certainly wouldn't be anywhere near its former splendor, but you'll be standing right where Escobar himself used to party and relax. If you enjoyed today's video, give it a like. It goes a long way to help us, and it motivates us to provide all the content you crave. Don't forget to subscribe as well.